Hey guys, today we are reviewing the 1.4 gram ace dart. We are in February 2026 and this is the heaviest foam dart available now. Starting off with the outdoor grouping test, which is what most of you want to see. As usual, I am aiming at the center torso of the human-sized target at 30 meters. With an A4 size paper at the torso and an A5 size paper on the head for reference. I am using the ZWQ S400 Red Hare with the strongest 2.0 spring, 55 cm worker barrel and ZWQ 30 BCAR. My RPVO is roughly 0 to hit a human-sized target at 30 meters. The wind is crazy strong during this time of the year. In fact, it is so strong that for the first time, it knocked over my phone camera stand and damaged the screen protector. I also did some post-production editing to try to reduce the wind noise. This is going to be a fun grouping test, as this is the perfect opportunity to see how this 1.4 gram ace dart performs in real-world conditions versus two of the best darts I know, 1.3 gram saber T darts and 1.2 gram blue darts. All foam darts being tested are brand new, starting with 1.4 gram ace dart at an FPS of about 280. Next, 1.3 gram saber T darts. If you notice, the FPS is slightly higher now at around 285. Next, 1.2 gram blue darts with the highest FPS of about 300. As expected, the lighter the dart, the higher the FPS. Subsequently, I waited for about 30 minutes for the crazy strong winds to subside a little bit before attempting another grouping test with the ace darts. Here is the summary of the grouping test results with crazy strong winds. The 1.4 gram ace dart clearly outperformed the other two darts with a much tighter grouping. Its performance in crazy strong winds is definitely very impressive. Now let's compare the ace dart groupings with crazy strong winds versus strong winds. The grouping with the strong winds is definitely tighter because the winds are not as strong as the other crazy strong one. And if we were to assume the LPVO is zeroed perfectly for the wind conditions and shift the groupings upwards, we can see that they almost fit into the A5 size paper. This 1.4 gram ace dart is really living up to its name and outshining existing best darts. But how well does it do at lower FPS levels? Let's find out. I came back the next day with the Diamond Dog Small E Enfield Blaster. The winds feel moderate to strong now. Next, with 1.2 gram blue darts. For info, this is the same grouping test I did for the Small E Enfield review video, as I did the testing for the ace darts and the Small E simultaneously. Do check out the Small E Enfield review video, link on the top right corner. The 1.4 g ace dart did not perform well at a lower FPS as seen from the large grouping in moderate to strong winds. The 1.2 g blue darts performed way better in windy conditions at a lower FPS level of about 220. It is interesting that the 1.4 g ace dart has about a 30 FPS reduction compared to the blue dart on the small Lee and about 20 FPS reduction on the high-powered S400. Let's go back inside to take a closer look at this 1.4 g ace dart. For info, I have to repeatedly emphasize that this particular ace dart is 1.4 grams because it also comes in 1.1 gram, 1.2 gram and 1.3 gram versions. It also has a 0.9 gram version with glow-in-the-dark dot hits. The 1.4 g ace dart has 4 bamboo whips. It comes in either yellow or red foam and a shocking pink head. You can differentiate the 1.4 g weight by the shocking pink color heads versus the other versions in the ace dart product line. I chose this yellow foam because it is way more visible for tracking shots in post-production and also for dart picking. It measures about 36 mm long and about 12.86 mm wide. And just to confirm that it weighs 1.4 grams. It is of course shorter than the 38mm T-dart. Let's check the foam firmness. The ace dart may just be a tiny bit firmer, but I can't really tell. Both are very close in terms of firmness. The ace dart's foam is just a tiny bit longer and its dart head a tiny bit shorter than that of the blue dart. The ace dart is also just a tiny bit firmer than the blue dart. For the dart heads, the 1.4 g ace dart and the 1.3 g T-dart feel similar in terms of hardness. On the other hand, the blue dart's head is way softer. I don't think the hardness or softness of the dart heads matter at all when it comes to accuracy. But in terms of feeling the pain when getting hit by one, probably yes. In terms of glue strength, all 3 darts have extremely strong glue, and there is no need to worry about dart heads decapping under normal usage. However, the T-dart's dart head stamp is probably the strongest, as it does not rip off easily, compared to the other 2 that had the head stamp ripped off from the foam. Here is a summary of quick chronograph checks done earlier for reference. I no longer do standard deviation calculation, as standard deviation numbers did not matter most of the time when it came to real-world outdoor grouping tests. Overall, the 1.4 g ace dart outperformed the existing best darts I know of in crazy strong wind conditions, and I will definitely recommend it for higher powered 300 FPS blasters like the S400. However, it performed poorly at lower FPS levels in strong wind conditions, and I will not recommend it for lower FPS blasters like the 220 FPS small Lee. The moral of the story is that the 1.4 g ace dart's weight advantage truly shines when combined with the high-powered blaster and will perform extremely well in outdoor windy conditions. Also, I bought this for about 10 Singapore dollars from Taobao. The price is very reasonable, so if you play your high FPS Nerf games outdoors with strong winds, this 1.4 g ace dart is definitely worth considering. However, the game locations I usually play at do not have strong winds at all, so I do not really find a need to buy or use these 1.4 g darts a lot, unless I'm doing another drinking challenge here at this very location again next time. If you found this review video helpful, do check out these other videos here. Thank you and see you.